demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Alright, tell me more about this
What can
behemoth.
I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoo. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
How are we talking about before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks... Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put... Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you...
Ooh.
Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are the demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
It's like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
What that... Yeah, most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Borges can't be kings. The king is the...
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do then?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastic. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
We're about to take him to a rapier. Take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. Organized labor at its best, as they say.
A mob. The debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Ouch.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union...
Giant leech sucking the life out of Rabbit Shell.
Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
One moment, let me unlock this real quick. So this one. Oh, I can do this, or I can do this. Let's complete this. We are almost there. Even if we complete it, let's do it. Why not?
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter election, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End
Eerie.
of story.
Yeah, eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need. Let's change topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about the
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Remember when my partner told you I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to that.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible after a night of heavy drinking and also a memory of my life and the world.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while.
I mean, yeah, we just were like, hi, I'm talking in my head. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Oh,
She's a professional negotiator.
I can't do
She
this.
should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Ah!
She's
Oh,
a
wow.
negotiator. Just float a fate in Simates.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate a law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
Got it.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
We'll see about that.
A word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment.
Wow, you work hard.
I do!
Yes, so you're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I do.
Oh yeah, like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What is the hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you. That is the sign of a hustler who, the world is harsh. You didn't make it, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Die.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and you didn't make the, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprint and a money printer.
And then there is the pawning stuff off to the suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then point law officer.
I guess I've made some kills, sure.
Sure. And has it been eaten? Is life eaten? Have you not gone into card? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is
It was broken.
Boo-hoo. The system
Okay.
is broke. That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart. So much. Our tax is almost non-existent in the Gotham estate. That is Revachol.
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect 98% of all your money. Here you go. Fight the
Ooh.
righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it street.
I do that
Keep
next.
foaming at the mouth furiously. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism.
How come there's a word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the land.
Nah, I haven't said anything like that.
Not in so much. Everyone. So tell me. Oh yeah, too late.
And we gained another part. What do we have? What do we get here? We get this.
Daddy, आपण बघितलं वर नाही तो.
Okay.
आपण don't step on here.
Alright, let's talk to
हे बघ.
Kitsuragi. He wanted us to talk.
Quite as I hope. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be.
I don't know.
That woman was running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard.
What do you propose then? You don't investigate the crime again?
if there is reasonable, what I propose is we ask her, then we investigate briefly, but do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We take
Alright.
her this down and we don't have information on the G.
Alright. You got it.
You're back. Good. What can It's quite straightforward. Someone is using
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Alright, let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Ravachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no,
पिशवी छातीत
as far as
राहिली.
the company knows, the union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the route.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from.
How convenient that they're stranded.
Perhaps you've noticed that I'll be explicit.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched.
Okay.
टीचरचे
Here's your chance, officers.
The lorries are stranded. They're like that. isn't it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Thousands.
Well,
What is that?
why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wonder since
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay, I want to ask what proofs do you have for the union being
How do you
involved?
think they're financing this strike?
there was a shakedown of local businesses
With all due respect to these desert cacti, precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely.
Yeah.
Two,
or not.
as eager as I am to share it, yes?
Yeah, we'll accept it.
Excellent. It may come. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
You seem smart. I need someone who give me the lowdown on this reality.
This.
Yes, and experimental.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately convert even our investigation. They are really one and the
Are
same.
they now?
A deep synthesis.
All right, we're in. I know these all look
Yeah.
good, but begin with the first.
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Maybe.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
What is more?
Martinez is a district. You would be excused for not knowing. I'm not a good. This place used to be a
We
province.
skim
It's
through
not-
these?
Yes.
Known to the vast,
I don't think this is
Luke.
Caillou.
It is and to humanity at large.
I would be happy to. We're in Martinez. You would be excused for Revachol, the great
As if it's
history detective. The nations of in the DeLorean. They say by that we are standing.
We're skimming through this quickly because I don't think
22 kilometers.
it's gonna be that useful in the long term.
We are.
This is
Was there something?
This has been. Might I say?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long term.
It's better not.
Indeed. These are for the revolution. It's quite easy. Why, of course, no. On the other hand, why, of course, no. Why, on the other hand, those would be, oh,
she likes the
indeed, did they ever? Yes. Yes. Oh, lots of, the real king yes. Him and 10, the liberals, some were...
I'm literally skimming through everything right now because I don't see anything that is just useful to me.
At least this,
This is all history, it seems like.
of course. The turn
And I have no interest in history, I'm interested in solving the murder.
Why?
So I'm just skimming through it.
No doubt. A city, the zone, modernity,
51.
time flat, the 20, the 30, no. Welcome.
And that's free XP. And we gained a level, that's good.
Wild
They picked the win. Perhaps it would. I would assign 10 of the 4. Good question. So a quart good hygiene. When they failed,
My position, ma'am.
understandable. They
Okay.
are what they are. Anyway,
not so fast. Who is she? Ask. It remains a
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I am
She raises the corpse.
an ultra. Yes, I can.
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self.
Deaf.
That beneath her waterproof raincoat, and
I hope so. When the dust set, would you? I would not.
she
Then
dark orange flames.
perhaps.
You're no dummy. And the crowd.
Seditious talk.
Yes. A bird? Of course you're. Or two. A pre-revolution. This one, mostly wonderful. The girl in the old lady rat.
I'm like, this is important. We just encountered City's skull.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
What is that?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture.
What is this
The
now?
common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant. Those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags.